figure I'd just keep Billy behind to save him from himself. And make sure that I don't really need anything necessarily throughout here. But again, it's another key engraved room. And with that music, we're given another enemy, which is like the Leech Man, or I don't even know what you want to call it. It's not just one. It's not like Nemesis where he follows you around the house. He tends to just show up at inopportune times, or times that you least expect. But you know, most of them, they transform into an old guy, and it usually takes a minute or two. They transform. I either use that time to avoid them, like I just previously did, or dish out the pain, or throw a couple Molotov cocktails, which they do significant damage on those particular ones. I'm not sure on anybody else. I really haven't used the cocktails on anyone else. But now that I know I have to clean up, I just figure I might as well keep Rebecca someplace to where no zombies will randomly show up, or no other creatures they have the ability to get to her. So just leave her in the room and just go on about my business. She won't worry. You know, like I was saying earlier, it's not like Resident Evil Outbreak, to where the AI partners, they go off and they try to solve puzzles on their own, or they try to do other things on their own. You know, she stays put. And he just tried to jump at me. Really? I hit you too. Jeez. It can be really annoying. But see, with those two hits, I mean, Billy's still fine. But yes, with the Iron Needle, we, just go to here and just use it. To be honest, I think every Resident Evil game has a clock puzzle. I'm excluding 6, and I'm just meaning in terms of the classic series. What I call the classic series is from Resident Evil 0 to Code Veronica, which is our classic controls and whatnot. But with this particular puzzle, just as I previously stated with the one memo that we had, the answer to this puzzle is 8:15. Now, if you don't know your minute hand from your hour hand, then go back to elementary school. But with all that said and done, we're now able to get to these kind of cream-colored doors, or doors with a clock insignia on it. Which again is just a very elaborate way to get through a house. Just making my way back, trying to reunite with Rebecca. And to be honest too, like because not really a spoiler, after this game we don't see Billy anymore. You know, a lot of mystery, a lot of speculation on what happens to him afterwards. Not that it matters. Some people said he turned into a tyrant, which would just be time-wise that doesn't add up. But I mean, I don't. I mean, again, my personal opinion is just that Billy is just someone that just, he's just another person that went along with the game. It's not like. Let me think. I'm trying to think. He's just like Carlos. Like, we don't see Carlos in any more Resident Evil games past 3. We don't speculate what happened to him. He probably went off and probably did something else. And again, it's not like we could, like, I'm pretty sure there's a way that they could get Billy back in the game. They bring people back from the dead in comic books and stuff like that. But again, Billy is like fugitive, so trying to bring him back would be it would be something. He's just a person that went through it. He doesn't, don't need to retread on people. I mean, Rebecca has 2 games. Rebecca only shows up in this one and in Resident Evil, in Resident Evil 1. That's only if you play through Chris scenario. If you play through Jill scenario, you don't even see her. You're just under the presumption that she's dead. Oh, I forgot to even talk about the room. I mean, that's one of the closest doors that we are able to go through. But nothing really special. I mean, you get the other microfilm. And with that, I mean, with the other microfilm and the one that we have now, we can now, if I can get off this wall here, we can now with the other microphone, we can now use it to get in to help solve a puzzle. Essentially, I'm trying to think and trying to be informative at the same time. And also too is I don't know if I said this already, but each room has a limit on what particular items and such you hold. Now I see that there's a red herb and a green herb. They don't count as drop items. So if you never pick them up, the computer doesn't count them as drop items. They just think they're like background. I don't know why I think those could be combined. But yeah, we don't need the shotgun right now, and you're just kind of keeping the Molotovs just because. And I don't think I explained it any previous time, but since I'm exploring and walking around more with Rebecca, because in all honesty, she kind of is the main character in this game. Billy is just kind of secondary, but Rebecca is kind of the main character, so that's why I chose to walk around with her. But I did switch her gun to Billy's gun because Billy's gun is a tad bit more powerful. I think it takes less shots, maybe a shot less or so. It does help with keeping ammunition, and the headshot ratio is a lot greater than Rebecca's gun. And then later in the game, we totally negate Rebecca's gun altogether because actually the handgun that Rebecca has now is kind of, I just keep it as kind of her main gun. She's usually the one to kind of plow through zombies and things like that, and Billy is kind of there for the real deal. I wonder if Capcom was foreshadowing that thing on the side there, and and it'll show it later. But that thing on the side kind of looks like a Wii. You know what I mean? But these things, I mean, they're not really that hard to defeat. Fire, you know, anything you have fire related is the best option against them. You know, I have Molotov cocktails, but this particular one, I mean, because there's multiple leechmen or men of leech, I don't know what to call them. There's multiple leechmen walking around. This one in particular is not really of any importance, so walking around them, moving around them, you know. Yeah, he will try to grab you, try to hug you. He'll do like a little acid attack. Now that may be the only thing you have to worry about is like his long range kind of stretch arm strong kind of hit thingy. If you avoid that, then you should be relatively fine. I'm not even exactly sure why I even went back to do this. I should have just got Billy and brought Billy along, but I didn't want to do that. But once you insert one of the microfilms, it shows that. And see, that thing looks like a Wii, the white thing on the right. And we're going to insert the other. And it's a photo of the meeting room that we were pretty much at. And as you can see, the numbers correspond with the seats. But we need those two so we can get the mode disc. And I'm glad they gave us a photo so we don't have to come back to this room to cross-reference it. Because that would suck. Especially if you forget. Oh, this guy again. But yeah, it's just simple just to avoid. Believe me, there's going to be some that you can't avoid. There's going to be some that you can't avoid, so might as well just save it for now. But now that we have the mode disc, I'm just making sure I just have all my ducks in a row. I'm gonna need Billy, and then we're gonna go to that meeting room. Very odd meeting room, or maybe like those numbers like that, you know, maybe kind of help to do like the Dr. Evil kind of thing. Where you know, if someone's standing up at the podium, you know, you could just put in F2 and just burn those other two, you know, just burn the corresponding seats live. I don't know. This hall is elaborate. Alright, and after we put the mode disc in, as you can see, it gives us an input code that we have to input to the corresponding seats. Now, the actual input code is very random, so it won't be 47 every time. I believe on my test playthrough it was like E0 or E whatever. But yeah, just go to your files just to make sure you got them right, and just go to the corresponding seats. You'll probably put one person there, and you put them in solo. And then the next person, you just, you know, you take them to the the next seat on the list. And you'll press the button, and then you'll switch over to the next person. And completion of puzzle.